Top 10 unprofessional tricks by yours truly. I'm pretty new to skateboarding, so don't trust any of my tips. Most of them are probably faulty, but not much I personally can do about it. So I don't really know that much, but here's my top 10 do's, don'ts, fun things to do when you're training, stuff like that. Also, gonna Here's what I like to do. I have a small cheat board, so I have a small cheat board that was probably from Walmart. So picking it up, I don't really want to bend over to grab it. So what I like to do is grab it like this. In my opinion, it's funny. You can try it. I have a small cheat board that you could probably get from Walmart. So what I like to do, instead of bending over to grab it like that, just a quick little kick up, grab, super easy, super simple, gets the job done, perfect. Another thing I like to do, since I'm training right now, learning all this stuff too, as I'm teaching it, so something that I find fun is when you're training, kind of spice it up a bit. Instead of just normally getting on, doing whatever trick or whatever, what I like to do is to get on. This way. What I like to do to get on is either just a normal jump or try to attempt a 180 jump onto it. It trains, in my opinion, it trains control, or not really control, but hand-eye coordination a bit. But this is my attempt at an ollie. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I'm not 100% sure, but here's my attempt. I'm just lifting the top part up a bit, essentially. That one kind of sucked. Let me try a little bit better, but yeah, that's essentially all my attempt is. Yeah, just essentially that. Now, I don't know if that's actually an ollie. I'm gonna have to check later. Pretty sure that is, but to be fair, skating is not that easy because I don't know, like an hour skate time and like an hour practicing. If you couldn't tell. But as a beginner, something I learned, don't try to do tricks that are like insanely complicated, like a kickflip, because this is how I thought you're supposed to do a kickflip. 1 foot under the thing for some reason, 1 foot on top, and push a certain way. Very stupid. That's not actually how you do a kickflip. Turns out, you have to be able to do an ollie to do a kickflip, because it's essentially the first part of the kickflip. But something I'd recommend if you're just beginning like me, if you're moving, don't try and jump on it until you rode it for long enough that you trust it. And even then, you have to trust it decently well for it to not be annoying. Because if you just try and do that without much training, pretty hard to do. you know, all that. So just, you can do it while it's not moving, so that you can practice being able to do it. Another tip, if you're just beginning, the first time you skate, you should skate flat ground. You go straight to skating and not practicing, because skating is the best way of practicing when you're first beginning. And then once you've got some time skating and you trust the board and like you're comfortable with the board, that's when you can start trying to do practice like in like grass and everything, so it doesn't move. Because if not, then you're not gonna know how it feels to be skating around. You're gonna be surprised when you're first skating around. So it'll catch you off guard. You'll probably end up tripping, or all the practice will kind of go to waste a little bit. So just start off skating for like maybe an hour in total, and then move on to like just training in like grass or something that'll keep it staying down. Another thing, I'm really glad that I was taught this. When you're getting on, the foot that's facing the foot that's closest to the front first, and then back foot. Because if you try to do back foot, this foot, as you can see, it goes up, and you have to stomp it down a bit, and it makes it harder to get on. You can't move with it on. Essentially, it's also very uncomfortable. And don't try and go on the opposite side, because it makes it like 20 times harder. And just, no. Again, this one, something, an ollie. It's my terrible attempt. Let me try and see if I can do a little bit better. Okay. Also, what I recommend if you're doing skating, do it for fun. Don't do it for looks. Don't do it to be a poser or anything. Because it's quite the fun thing, okay? It's really fun when you just kind of relax and you're skating around. And you feel the vibrations a bit, but not too much. You feel the wind going through your hair. The short adrenaline rush. So, recommend doing it for fun before you start trying to do it just for looks or anything. I mean, I don't recommend doing it for looks at all, but if you do, at least do it for fun too, or at first, so that you can at least test out how you, like, if you actually like skating it. Something that I learned skating, it takes time. Okay, I've been out here in the freaking heat. I'm under a tree and I had water, but I was still sweating so bad. So it's a bit of a workout if you're like when you're practicing, especially doing it ollie, because that's something I practiced so far. It hurts so much, and at first I was doing it like this, tippy toe as my front foot instead of the normally on, because I thought it'd be better, but it's not. It feels like it'd be better, but then when you actually try and do the ollie, it sucks. So don't recommend doing that. That is a prime example of take control of the board. Because if I didn't regain a little bit more control there, I would have completely slipped. It's pretty terrible when it lands like this and like this, as you can see, quite the throws you off a bit. It's easy to, take control, but it throws you off, so it doesn't feel as easy as it actually is. So I'm gonna be doing always as much as I can because I'm still practicing. Like I said, I only have like maybe an hour in total of actual skate time, and however long it's been like practicing, like maybe 30 minutes of practicing, 40 at most. If I'm right, I doubt that it might be a lot less, but pretty surprised because I'm getting used to an ollie. If this is an ollie, I'm still not sure, but oh, that's a twig, sorry. Gotta retry that. Oh, that was also terrible. Okay, that was a lot better in my opinion. Also, if you're gonna skate or train in the heat like I am, wear something like this and this. You can even take your shirt off depending on where you are. It just makes it easier. Might not look as good, but like I said, skating's better when it's fun, not when it's just a show. So I recommend wearing like shorts and a tank top, or if you don't have a tank top, either no short or no shirt, or just short sleeve. I don't recommend actually wearing baggy jeans. They feel good sometimes, but in the heat, it's really not worth it. You might look better, you might like how you look, but you won't like how it feels after an hour. So I recommend wearing something like this. This is my video. I'm just kind of talking as an amateur. Like I said, I have barely any skate time, barely any practice time. I'm just now being able to even remotely do an ollie. If this even is an ollie, I'm not even sure. I could be doing it completely wrong. It's like a far more complicated problem now. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something else because I do kind of want to practice. Hopefully I do. If you're seeing this, I did. But ooh, see, I don't have control. Thankfully, I had a little bit more control than I did when it landed like this, so it didn't end up landing like that. It takes a lot of time and control of the board to be able to stop that from happening, because sometimes you accidentally let it slip and it kind of falls, it bends, it breaks, it goes sideways. So just make sure you trust your board, make sure you're comfortable with it. If you're not, I recommend either just skating until you are comfortable, finding a smooth spot to make you more comfortable, or just getting a new board. That's what I recommend. I don't really have a choice because I can't get a new board and can't really skate around that much, but I'm personally comfortable with this board, kind of. I mean, skating kind of sucks because it is pretty cheap, so to WD-40 it like 50 times on each wheel every time before I skate, so it kind of sucks, but better than nothing. It's still fun, just takes away some speed and some control, kind of sucks. So if you have the money, I recommend getting a better board, not one of these, depending on what age you are. Like if you're 13 or above, or 14, or like 13 or 14 or above, I recommend don't get like, I think this is a 20 inch. Don't get a 20 inch. You could probably buy this at Walmart. It's like probably $5. It's really cheap. It's a sticker instead of paint. So really kind of sucks. I recommend getting depending on what age you are, like if you're 13 or 14 or above, I recommend getting anywhere from a 28 to a 31 inch. That's just what I recommend. Probably like 7 or 9 plywood. Uh, I heard Maplewood's kind of good, I think. Uh, if you're setting it up yourself, uh, I've just seen this on YouTube, but all you need is screwdriver and scissors. You'll have the deck. You want to remove all the plastic off of it, and then get your I think there's only fabric and well, for good ones, I think it's only fabric and sandpaper. I recommend fabric if you can, because apparently what I've heard it's better, but I haven't actually tried it, so take my word with a grain of salt. And you stick it on there, make sure it's all over the thing, then you get the screwdriver and go around the edges hard and just push down so it makes an outline of where you need to cut. Get your scissors, or not scissors, definitely not scissors. Get your either like box cutters or like professional cutting knife, I don't know, and just okay. Then you get your nails in. You get forgot what it's called, but the metal part. Kind of sad that I forgot what it's called, but you get the metal part, and you get your wheels in with a little, I think it's bearings. I think that's what they're called. The little thing that makes it spin. Make sure they're not rusty, because if they're rusty, you could go from this to that, this to that. Slows down almost instantly, makes it really hard to actually move around. WD-40 doesn't fix it that well. You need to get like, you either need to replace it or get some sort of rust remover up in here. Although I do recommend WD-40 to make it a little more slick inside. Like, what I did is I put WD-40 here and here on all of them. Makes it a lot more slick, a lot more smooth. Kind of makes it a little less loud. Gosh, just got bug spray and sweat in my eye. Sorry, but that's how you do it. But I've only watched tutorials. I'm not sure if that's like genuine professional way, but you know that's what I've heard. And, let me go ahead. Oh, my bad. Always eat before you do it. Make sure you don't have low iron, because then when you get up, can't see you, get a bit of fatigue. Kind of sucks. Especially since, you know, you're trying to skateboard. Let me try and hit the ollie real quick. That sucked. Let me try that. I didn't stick it. I'm gonna keep going until I get a decent one and I actually stick the landing. That was not decent. That was below average. That also sucked, and I didn't even completely stick it. I fell down at the end. There. That was it. I mean, I wish I could do better, but I'm just gonna have to work with that. But yeah, that's all I got. Again, I don't know if I already told you this, but don't try and, you know you do that. Don't try and do a kickflip when you're just starting, or like anything crazy. Like, don't try and do 180, 180 Reaper walk or something like that. I'm sure that's a name for some trick. Just like, start simple. Start with like ollie or something like that, you know, that's what I'm starting with. Is just a simple, not so simple, but also extremely simple ollie. When you fall down, if you're at a skate park or something, when you fall down, don't try not to cry, try not to show anything, just fall down, get back up. Because you're going to be falling down a lot. If you're doing any tricks, going up any ramps, even just gaining a little bit of speed, there's a good chance that you fall down. So, what I recommend is just get used to it, get used to falling down. Try not to make it too much of a big deal, just fall down, get back up. Okay, wait, let me do that right. If you fall down, get back up. Now, obviously, that was close to tell, but it's gonna genuinely hurt a bit if it's a real fall, especially if you're not in soft grass or anything. If you're on concrete or road, I mean, I know that's concrete, but pavement, concrete, anything like that, anything hard, it's gonna suck if you fall, especially if it's hard, rough too. So just gotta get used to it. I also recommend wearing helmet, maybe wearing knee pads and arm pads, but I personally just wear a helmet when I do. It's a lot easier than spending the whole time putting on freaking legendary loot. Yeah, just helmet, in my opinion, is the max that you really need to. If you really want to be safe, I guess put on the whole thing, but helmet's the main thing that you need. Because if something genuinely bad happens, probably happen where your head is, and it'd probably only happen if you don't have a helmet. So helmet's the best option to go. If you could only buy one piece of armor or whatever you call it, definitely go for the helmet, in my opinion. Unless you just have really weak knees or really weak elbows, and you're always falling off or something. But yeah. When you're at the skate park, just be respectful. Don't really talk to anyone. Don't try and start a conversation with anyone unless they're trying to start a conversation with you. Because then it's just kind of if you start a conversation with the wrong person, they're going to start getting mad at you, even if you compliment them, or yes, and if they're okay and they're probably going to get mad. So just only talk when talked to, unless you're with a friend or something. Don't sit anywhere on the skate park, of course, unless it's not anywhere where the skaters go. Don't make trash, of course. Don't play music. I mean, music's a bit of a gamble, because if it's good music, everyone's gonna be vibing to it. If not everyone likes it, then you're just being a jerk. So I don't recommend playing music unless you just have it in headphones or something. But yeah, it's skate park rules. I'm personally having fun filming this, so you can hate if you want, but in my opinion, this is pretty fun. So I ain't gonna stop until I have to. I'm just gonna practice for a minute, maybe speed it up for y'all. If I do publish this, I'll speed it up for y'all, because I'm sure y'all won't want to watch me doing that. I'll go ahead and show whatever time I stop, because I'm probably going to be talking about things good things to do, good things to not do, if I can think of anything. But yeah, I'm just going to practice for a bit, so yeah. something, uh, something to do. If you're sweating and you're like in front of people and you're like breathing hard, they're probably not gonna care unless like you're breathing like as long as you're just breathing like this or something, they're not gonna care. So don't feel ashamed about not being exercised enough or not being above average for how exercise and in shape you are. Everyone's got their things. There's no point in shaming anybody about it. I mean, people are going to be rude. They might shame you if they're not good friends, or if they are good friends, they might shame you more. But, you know, self-peace and love. No one actually means to be rude most of the time, unless, like, they just got something going on or something. But, yeah. Sorry, I'll quit yapping and get back to the training. That was close. Let me go get water. Like I said earlier, if it's hot outside, go out and get water. It's worth it. For me, I'm in Texas and it's summertime, so it's pretty hot. If they actually do start the war, it's gonna get hotter, obviously. Sun's gonna come up a couple times, if you know what I mean. But as I said, always get water. Even if you're just doing a light skate, don't get cold water, but get water. Unless it's cold outside, you need to get cold water. But make sure you get water. Don't drink too much, because I just drink too much. Now my stomach feels weird, I feel bloated. So it's gonna be a little weird, but yeah. Actually, I'm gonna pour some water on my hands real quick and wash my face off. I just put some water on my arms and my face, a little bit on my hand, just so that I'm cooling off a little bit more. Gosh, I really see sweat and dirt. Ugh. But make sure to stay cooled off. Try and stay. What I'm doing is I'm staying in a nice area in the shade because it's a really sunny, hot day. So good to be in the shade. Yeah. Make sure to wear deodorant. Always make sure. If you don't, I'm gonna sweat terribly. I made the mistake not wearing deodorant, so it's terrible. But too late now. I'm trying to get my deodorant dirty, so yeah. Make sure to always put on deodorant before you do any skating. Any form of going outside, really, or just any physical activity. But skating. Since the skating video, I'm specifically going to say skating. Put on deodorant. So if you don't, I know this is basic knowledge, but it's just quick reminder. Yeah. Hopefully, if by some off the wall chance this blows up, yeah. Forgot what I was gonna say. If this blows up, maybe people will remember it more and won't forget it like I did. So, sorry, but remember deodorant. Also, if you're starting at a younger age, like 13 or 14, just know if you wear, I know I'm not wearing this stuff, but if you wear, big shirt with, baggy, saggy pants, you're not a douchebag unless you're, being a piece of crap to someone. You're only a douchebag when you're being a piece of crap. So you don't feel like you're doing something wrong for wearing clothes that you think look good if you think they look good. I personally think they look good. When I skate, I usually wear this, but I'm around my grandpa and great grandpa, so don't want to don't want them to think that I'm a douchebag because they're probably gonna think I'm a douchebag if I do that. So, but that's just because when they were adults, younger adults or kids or whatever, not sure great, but it was different back then. Most people who wore skater outfits were douchebags, but unless you're being a piece of crap and don't feel like a douchebag for wearing a skater outfit, it's really not that bad. In my opinion, it's better. It shows that you're actually. Don't feel inclined to do it, even if you don't like it. But in my opinion, it looks a bit better. It matches skating a bit more. But to be fair, I'm trying to get a full-time skater. Not just skate every now and then as a fun little hobby. Skate at least once every day for like an hour just because of how fun it is. You do a little bit of training and everything. What I do when I have not much to do, or it's just something fun to do, um, if I can't if I can't skate, I like to just practice until I can skate or until I want to stop with half the stuff, whatever, So I recommend it. It's pretty fun in my opinion, but to be fair, I love a little bit of manual labor, a little bit of working some sweat. I don't know why, it just seems the right thing to do, so it might not be fun to y'all, but in my opinion, it's pretty fun. So if you're like me, I recommend when you can't skate, don't feel like sad, like dang it, I can't skate. There's nowhere around where I could actually skate. I know smooth enough on the tripping. Just like practice, In my opinion, pretty fun, pretty good, good practice. Um, just overall good thing to do. Gives you a bit of a workout depending on what you're practicing. No matter what, it's probably giving you at least a little bit of a workout, but depending on what you're working at, what you're doing, like what you're training for, it could be better workouts. Or you don't even have to train. You could just do kickflips or ollies for fun. I mean, it's pretty fun, you know. But that's speaking from my point of view. And like I said, kind of like a bit of labor work, like hard labor or whatever. Not necessarily hard. Not trying to give myself credit, but like just a bit of manual work. If you find manual work fun too, I recommend training. It's just, in my opinion, the best option to do if you can't actually skate at the time. Now, if you can't skate at all and you're never gonna have a chance, just don't believe you're never gonna have a chance. So eventually you're gonna get at least one chance. Probably, I'd imagine, unless you have a very short life, but we're not gonna go there. So, just gonna say, gonna have a chance eventually, and when you get that chance, I can assure you, if you like the training, you're probably gonna like the skateboarding itself. Also, please don't make the mistake my brother did. No matter how crappy the skateboard is, don't put that duct tape for looks. Don't spray paint the actual sandpaper itself. You can spray paint the bottom, but don't spray paint the sandpaper. Definitely don't spray paint the wheels unless you're doing like non-stick spray paint, if that's a thing. I don't know how that would work, but So, because then you start to lose grip a little easier, and eventually the tape comes off, ruins the grip itself, and looks bad. In my opinion, this doesn't look too bad, but I don't know. These are really worn down, like the rubber part or plastic part or whatever of the tape has come off, so that's why it looks like that. But I don't recommend it. I mean, sometimes it's good for a good like to know where to set your feet. Like I like putting my foot right here on it. In my opinion, that's the perfect spot. Which makes the tape a little bit, nice, but most of the time it's not gonna be that nice. So I don't recommend putting tape on it. But yeah, if you want to skate, all it takes practice, a little bit of time. I mean, well, a lot of time, a lot of practice. But for the most part, it's all about having fun. Just stuff like that. Just having fun, having a good time, stuff like that. I know my practice today was a little bad, but practice doesn't need to be anything special. You just need to be able to get enough control to ride comfortably, so that riding's fun. That's all that matters in the end is is it fun or not, unless you're doing it for money. But even then, you kind of want it to be fun most of the time, or you're just having opposite of a dream job. But it's the end of the video, probably. I mean, yeah, because I want to post it and I don't feel like editing it, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. If anyone's actually seeing this, I doubt that anyone is. I'm gonna make sure that I'm loud enough, because I'd imagine I'm not, but who knows? Maybe I am. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, but you don't have to. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to put out content, especially if I actually somehow get famous enough. I doubt that I will with low quality videos like this, but if I do, it's pretty nice, you know. I can actually get a good board, find somewhere good to skate. So if you would, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe. And if you enjoy my videos and watch more, see you later. If not, I understand. Have a good day. Bye.